10 on Tuesdays with the Tennessee Tribune. My name is Sandra Long Weaver, and I'm the editorial director for the Tennessee Tribune. And today our guest is Professor Oyebade, who is a Doctor of History at Tennessee State University. And we wanted to spend a little time talking about the life of Nelson Mandela and where we are now. Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5th, and we're currently in the process of mourning. So I wanted to have a little more perspective on what that all means. So Professor, I wanted to ask you, where were you when you first heard that he had passed away, and what were your feelings?
First, let me say thank you for having me on your program. Actually, I was at home reading some papers when my wife was watching TV, and she heard that she just screamed.
Oh, wow.
And that brought me to the TV, and then I saw it, the president, Zuma,
Yes.
making the announcement.
That he had passed away.
Yeah.
And what were your feelings at that point? Your wife screamed, so we knew it was still, oh my God.
I was really shocked, even though we had been expecting that he would pass on because he had been sick for some time. Mm-hmm. But despite that, it was still very, very shocking, to just hear the news at that time.
Yeah, he had been sick for over a year, so we knew.
Going in and out of hospital,
mm-hmm.
But despite that, it was still really, really shocking.
Yeah, I think the world feels this sense of loss.
Yes.
Without him here.
Yes.
Did he have that kind of impact in your life? What did you know of him when you were growing up? And you grew up in Nigeria?
I grew up in Nigeria. I remember when we were in college in Nigeria, Nigeria played a major role in the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa. I remember that we had students from South Africa sponsored by the Nigerian government.
Oh, really?
Yes, in the universities, give them free education and so on. So Nigeria was very much involved in the struggle, and so I was part of that. I was in the university. Sometimes we had demonstrations in support of the Africans fighting for their freedom over there. So at that time I learned about Mandela, even though he had been in prison at that time.
Mm-hmm. So he was still in prison when you were a student?
Yes.
And
yes, he had gone to prison then.
Yeah. What was it like?
And in fact, in Lagos, which used to be the capital of Nigeria, the ANC had an office. And
the ANC,
Congress,
the African National Congress.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And the other one, Pan-African Congress, had offices, in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
So we are very much familiar with the struggle down there.
Did you ever get to hear him speak?
Except on when he came out of prison, and also sometimes listen to his tapes when he gave that speech when he was about to be sentenced to life. Yes.
Yeah, he was a rather amazing man.
Yes.
Where were you when he came out of prison? I mean, I remember that day and watching him walk out. He was 71 years old after 27 years in prison with hard labor, and he walked out very tall, erect,
with the clenched fist, the sign of Black Power.
Yes,
with the former wife there.
Yes. Well, they were still married at that point.
But still very married.
Willie Mandela.
Yes, Willie Mandela. Yes.
So where were you when that happened?
I can't remember exactly where I was at that time. I can't really recollect exactly where I was doing.
Okay. And so tell us now, he passed away December 5th, and on December 9th, 10th, they held a memorial service in the stadium that holds 90,000 people.
Right.
And everyone has commented on how joyous.
Despite the rain, everybody was out, singing, dancing, celebrating his life. That was a very, very moving ceremony. And as we know, over almost 100 head of states present. I mean, he was not just a figure in South Africa. He was a figure in world history.
Right.
He touched many people, in several ways, just beyond South Africa itself.
Right. Yeah.
So I would expect that that kind of thing will happen on Tuesday. Where it happened.
Yeah, because I was surprised. I mean, it rained really, really hard.
Despite that, they were all out.
Yeah, but everyone, people came out.
This was jam-packed.
Yeah. What did you think about some of the comments that heads of state had to make? And
Yeah, Obama gave a very good speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and others as well. Um, Obama talked about his impact, not just on South Africa, as I said, even on U.S. history,
Mm-hmm.
the struggle here, in the Jim Crow South, and the struggle still continues. I don't think with Obama as the president, I don't think we have realized the dream of King. We're still in the process, marching forward. So Obama alluded to that, and then his message to other leaders, that what Mandela stood for, reconciliation, and all those things. He was against oppression, and that's still going on around the world. Even in Africa, there are very few leaders who are very oppressive that people. I could mention something like Mugabe and so on. So that speech was a very, very good speech that Obama gave.
Good.
And others as well.
Yeah, that was the feeling that I had. It was very impressive.
And it was well received by the people.
Right.
Yeah.
I was very well received, as I recall. So now what happens next? So the memorial service, today he begins Lion State in Pretoria, the state capital, in the building, I understand, what he was fighting against all those years, yet he was also sworn in as president.
Yeah, I think I heard that they're going to rename that place in his honor.
Oh, they
the
are?
place where he was sworn in. Rename that place in his honor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I heard that this morning.
Okay. And then what happens? So he lies in state for 3 days,
and then the funeral, which will be private, will be on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that will be open to everybody like the memorial, but I think it will be going to be a family affair.
Oh, just a family affair.
Yeah, his hometown.
Mm-hmm. And his hometown is Soweto.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He grew up in Soweto.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you think is next? With even though he was no longer really in the daily public world, because he was still alive, he had some impact. What happens next in South Africa, in Africa, in the world? What do you see?
Yeah, when he was alive, he was like a glue.
Mm-hmm.
What he started was to lay the foundation for democracy, and there's still much work to be done.
Like so, what work needs to be done?
Yeah, first, the democratic system has to be solidified.
Mm-hmm.
The ANC that is in power right now, I hope they will be able to continue the legacy, continue the democratic tradition that Mandela started.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some kind of opposition to the ANC, even by some Africans in South Africa, because they felt that the government is corrupt, the politicians are corrupt, and so on. So I'm afraid that I'm going to be optimistic that they'll be able to continue that legacy, to really solidify democracy, continue that tradition. I hope the whole thing will not fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Mandela has been a figure that glued everything together. He was a figure that everybody was looking at, But with him now out of the picture, I hope the government will be able to sustain the democracy in that country. That's number one. Number two, there is also the issue of democratizing the economy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the wealth is still basically in the hands of the minority whites. So there has to be a way of wealth redistribution.
Oh,
that
really?
Africans will not be left out totally.
Mm-hmm.
That's a challenge for the government to be able to do that.
It still remains to be a challenge.
Yes, because I don't want to see a situation where the Africans are disgruntled, they feel that change has been coming too slowly, and that there may be violence. So I hope that they're able to live up to that challenge and really deal with the situation.
Okay. Now, does this change anything that you teach in any of your courses, or do you add anything different?
Now I'm going to add, his passing, right now, if you just finish the semester, I taught a course on modern Africa, and we also talk about South Africa as well. So this would be another, chapter in the course.
In modern Africa.
Yeah, modern African history. Okay. Yeah, his passing, what that would mean for not only for South Africa but for the rest of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
One of the legacies of Mandela is that he just had one term and left. with Africa, it's not known for African leaders to leave.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who have been there for years. Mandela has been there since 1980.
Oh, wow.
You know, and he's 89 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so these leaders, they've turned themselves to think gods. So I hope they will learn from what Mandela did. He just had one time and just vacated the position for somebody else. So I'm looking forward to that happening in Africa, where leaders would, after maybe first or two times, will leave and give chance to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And do you is there anyone that you see who may be rising up as a leader in South Africa, as a world leader, as Mandela? I don't think anyone can really fill his shoes.
Yeah,
but
that
is
would be
there
very,
someone...
very difficult for anybody to be able to fill his shoes. To be extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the whole black world, I'm not sure there is. I can't think of anyone that could really be in his position, what he did for the continent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and enlightening us on what this means to us here in Nashville, Israel, as well as the rest of the world. So, Professor Oyebade. Oh, I'm sorry. We appreciate you being here, and thank you for joining us on Take 10 on Tuesdays, and we'll see you the next time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.